Very dramatic.
It's very dramatic. It gets me pumped up, Michael.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how you couldn't be pumped up when you're hearing that music.
Oh yeah,
And it's just, it's just going. It's just going 100 miles an hour.
that's right.
Yeah, welcome everybody. We'll let some folks tune in. I know Brett is sending the alert that we are going to be live to the clients as well, so we'll get that out momentarily.
Yep, he's on it right now.
Perfect. So we'll let some folks dial in. If you're watching this recording back, I would wait until about the 4-minute mark or so where we will start getting into our analysis. But Matt, I mean, it's sunny. It's humid as hell. Mid 70 dew points, a lot of energy. I think we're going to get hit tonight. A lot of people are going to get hit.
Yeah, it's. I would say of some of the past severe weather events we've had, whether it was last night or even with some of those tornado warning storms we had 2 nights ago. Michael, was it 3 nights ago in central Indiana?
2 nights.
This is probably the highest threat for severity we've had all week long. So it looks good as it stands right now. I think the storm survived to Indy, and we get a heck of a storm into central Indiana, but especially some of the folks out northern Illinois, eastern Iowa. Those storms can get much more rowdy up there too, and potential for tornadoes, especially up there. I know the SPC, the Storm Prediction Center, has a high or a moderate risk in those areas, and I think that's certainly at play into northern Illinois this afternoon, early this evening.
Yep, I agree. Anytime that you get dew points in the 70s and sunshine and that kind of thing, pretty much, especially in June, you can pretty much always kind of bank on getting. Oh my! Holy moly! That's something.
Gotta turn my phone on silent. I've got maybe 15 locations.
Oh my god!
So.
I can't deal with you. Yeah. So we're dealing with what I like to call the old smack and whack. That's what I call it.
That's a smack and whackage for sure. Yeah. Someone just asked, is it a derecho setup?
Well, it's kind of like serial derecho-like. Yeah, Brett and I were actually kind of talking about that. I mean, technically, by technical definition, yes, it very well could be.
What's the mileage for technical for derecho?
Let me ask. I will tell you right now. Because we were looking at that, and I don't want to misquote.
Okay.
A serial derecho is at least 250 miles by the strict classification used by the NWS. It's a wind swath that must exceed 250 miles and produce widespread gusts of 58 plus miles per hour. Okay. It's characterized by multiple bow echoes embedded in an extensive squall line. But if it does not meet the 250-mile length, then it will not be classified as that. But this certainly has the potential to do that easily.
I think it will. I mean, from Davenport to about Indianapolis is 250 miles. That's essentially expanding the width of the state of Illinois. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think technicality, it can be, in my opinion.
Yep, 100%.
Whether it's technically a derecho or not, I mean, it's still going to be a big line of storms producing a lot of winds.
Yep, I agree. Okay, so let's get into it, Matt. And folks that are just tuning in from the BAM Weather platform, good afternoon. Thanks for dialing in. And if you're catching this later, share it with a friend. Tag a friend, phone a friend, whatever people do anymore. I don't know what they do.
Send them an email.
Yeah. Send them an email. Radar this afternoon. Here we go. It is 3:30 Eastern time, 2:30 Central. These are tornado watches across northern Illinois, eastern Iowa, northeastern Missouri, and clipping northwestern Indiana. And then there's a couple of warnings right now. There's a BAM severe thunderstorm warning draped out across northwest Indiana, Lake County, Valparaiso, Maryville, Crown Point area. And then we're going to start watching kind of the main event take shape here. I'm going to clean up the map because all of these alerts make me crazy. I can't
Yeah.
function
Yep.
with that. So
Yep.
we'll clean up the map, and this is kind of the area that we're, that I am most interested in is back in here where the jet fires up, and we kind of usher this environment into Illinois. I think that's really the deal. And then as the front, you can actually kind of see the front up here. As the front pushes through this evening, it'll start pushing all of this into the state across the area further east into Indiana later this evening. Okay.
It,
Um, what do you got, Matt? What were you gonna say?
I was going to say I'm looking at some of the meso analysis. So some of the current conditions we're dealing out ahead of some of those storms in eastern Iowa, southwestern Wisconsin, approaching the border of Illinois, and the winds are really out of the east, Michael, in front of these. And so
Yep.
anytime we see these easterly winds out ahead of these storms, the first thing that sparks in my head is, oh gosh, these may start to rotate. And
Mhm.
especially over the next couple hours as the atmosphere continues to destabilize. Gosh, I think over the next 2 to 3 hours, these storms are going to start to get really rowdy that we see on the radar now as they do start to move to the east into northern Illinois, southern Wisconsin. So if you're in northern Illinois this afternoon, this evening, have a way to get alerts. I would highly recommend scanning that QR code top left hand corner. Get our BAM weather app. We'll be watching things, sending out updates all day long. But I do think these can get rowdy, and unfortunately, that includes very large hail, wind gusts of 60 plus, and tornadoes with this activity. So
Yep.
we'll be watching it closely. But the storm's already well established. They're going to move into a little bit more favorable environment with time. So be aware of these storms. Do not sleep on these.
I tell you what's also so interesting as well is, again, the continued check out the clearing working its nose into Illinois right behind the small little MCS there to the east.
Yeah.
Um, and you've got all of this, really this clearing from Peoria, Urbana, Kokomo, Muncie, all the way down. I mean, there's just clear skies and plenty of instability to build. In fact, I wanted to show that this is the instability right now. So Matt, what maybe tell some folks kind of what are they seeing here? Like what kind of 5,000 joules of CAPE? Like what does that mean?
Yeah, so that's what we're looking at. The values on this map is essentially just storm fuel, and this is our way of quantifying that storm fuel that we have right now. 5,000 in June is a lot, and I would say especially a lot in the Ohio Valley. We typically get these type of values out kind of in the plains. We have it closer into the Ohio Valley, and I think what's interesting about this as well is not just the high values that we're seeing. So if you're under the 5,000, even the 3,000, you go outside, it's that air you can wear, you can feel the instability in the air. But the gradient, exactly that, Michael, that gradient into instability. Anytime I see this as a forecaster, it's basically these gradients are highways for storms to move along, and this is a really sharp gradient in our instability. It's really setting the stage, setting the road work as these storms materialize into eastern Iowa, into northern Missouri. They're going to start to drift into that instability gradient. And as a result, these storms can get pretty rowdy. So we've got plenty of storm fuel. The orientation of the instability looks pretty favorable right now. And with time, as we look at the radar heading into the evening, you're going to see quite an extensive squall line start to form into Illinois, and that's eventually going to bleed down that instability gradient into even central Indiana. So I think certainly based off what we're seeing right now, the stage is set, so to speak, Michael, of some pretty prolific storms this evening.
Yeah. No, I agree completely. And another thing too that's interesting when we talk about all this is the precipitable water values, basically 1.8 to 2 inches. I mean, they're loaded,
It does not
and
like you.
it doesn't like me. There it is. Come on now, loaded there in that regard. Um, it's very 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 juicy. We look at the supercell composite parameter. It's maxed out. We look at the violent tornado parameter. Um,
Wow.
you know, and this is that air mass advecting in I talked about. You can see where it's nosing its way up into here. Um, but the threat for strong, perhaps long track tornadoes are certainly alive and well across north central Illinois. Do we have a new NATO cast out? Have you seen any new maps there, Map?
I
Might
haven't
be interesting to
seen. Let
see if you
me.
can find one while I'm rambling.
Yeah.
Um, but and then this is the significant tornado parameter. Again, so everything coming together for the storms out here to materialize and really be a significant for north central Illinois, um, in terms of strong tornadoes, very very nasty winds. You're probably looking at a dangerous evening across there, in terms just in all seriousness. So Matt's going to look for that new map real quick. But with that said, let's take a look at where we are currently. Um, our team has been using, analyzing data that is, quote unquote, performing the best. And right now, we believe that to be the zero Z impasse. It's the RN version of a high res model that we use. So we sift through all the models and try and find the best one that we think is working the best. And this is, right now, this is that 3 to 4 p.m. time frame. You can see the activity here that the MCS in Northwest Indiana, and you compare that to current radar,
Doing
and
really
that
well.
it's doing good. I mean, it is. It's tough to beat in a simulated radar instance. Even doing well out here in eastern Ohio, as you
Yeah.
can see, some severe thunderstorm warnings are popping there near Pittsburgh as well.
It's even
Um,
seen, Michael, the development there by Cincinnati along the Ohio River.
Yes, yes, it is. Just got a great graphic here from one of our Mets, Jacob. Jacob, I appreciate that. I'm going to toss it on the screen right now. This is the timing of the northern extent of this MCS into north central Indiana. This gets pushed out to the devices. If you're a BAM Weather subscriber, by the way, you can do that by checking out the link in the comments and or scanning the QR code there. But that's the timing. I mean, it's just a nice looking nowcast to give people an idea of when this is going to be coming through to them, this first wave, if you will. So doing well with that in regards to general timing and placement. Now, you can see the timing in the top right is Eastern Standard Time, Eastern Daylight Time. If you are in Central Time, you would just deduct an hour. That's all you do. See, it's just
Right.
you just time change it, just deduct an hour there. But um, this is where we start to see things get pretty lit up by 5 and 6 p.m. Eastern. Anywhere you see on radar where you have these purple circles, these are updraft helicity swaths greater than 70, just meaning these storms have a strong updraft. They're very organized, they're strong, and they're producing severe weather. Is essentially what the model is indicating there. The Mumford and Sons concert tonight in Chicago, at risk, for just at risk all around. Even being
Yeah.
out, even attempting to do that is going to be tough to do. But 5 o'clock there in north central Illinois. Let's go to this is 6 central, 7 eastern, and again that's not every day you see a sim radar that looks like that.
No.
Nasty
And
look there.
you can see it's trying to pick up on some type of rotation all up and down the line.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna go to the go real quick and just look at the wind gusts embedded in some of these 76 mile per hour.
There you
Just
go.
from the radar or from the model. That's a large model output for simulated wind gust.
And Michael, given the environment and the low level jets, the wind's about 5,000 feet above the surface, they're already cranked right now. I think combine that with the instability and just how dynamic the system is, we could definitely see some wind gusts that could be, that 60 to 80 threshold in northern Illinois. I think there will be
Absolutely.
some destructive severe thunderstorm warnings across northern Illinois today.
Yeah, yeah, it's embedded 70 plus mile per hour all across this line, just on this weather model. I mean, that's
Right.
that's 91 miles per hour in western Illinois, by the way. Look at that.
Holy smokes.
So some of these are, again, it's supported by The thing that supports this is the upper level wind. It's our jet stream, which I can't get on this particular model, but it's the upper level winds that are supporting the setup, and these are 70 plus knot upper level winds. It's easy to mix those down to the surface and see those come through. So let's take this back off again. This is Chicago Metro. This is the leading edge here at 7 p.m. Central, right
Hmm.
through here, all the way down. And again, this goes all the way down through, all the way down through.
Big old
You know,
line.
yeah. So the mileage of 250 or whatever's, you're going to crush that. That's not going to be an issue. The deratio term is accurate. It's absolutely accurate that that's possible. So um, continuing to advance this forward, we'll go into 9 p.m. Eastern. We're starting to get into Northwest Indiana, Western Michigan, in through Springfield, St. Louis metro area, down through Oklahoma City. Again, you're talking about an impact here of north to south, 1,000 miles.
Yeah,
I
huge.
don't know. It's just a large swath of hell. Yeah, there's 10 p.m. Look at that. I mean, that thing is just ripping across
And
South Bend. Um,
and note on this, Michael, too, the purples that you noted that where the model's trying to see some circulation. Note we're seeing a little bit more of those the further north into Indiana, into Michigan. And I think the reason for that is that those strong winds about 5,000 feet up, we mentioned we call it the low level jet, is going to be the strongest in those areas in particular. And so where that low level jet's the strongest, that's where we're going to have the most spin potential in the atmosphere. And so I think it's if you're in Indiana, the further north you are in Indiana, the better shot we can see some embedded circulations
yep,
as a result.
yep. I am looking real quick, Matt,
I sent
at
you a
the.
text of the NATO cast, by the way.
Did you get the new one?
Yeah, it's the 12Z one.
Is there a? Hang on one second. There, it's not in, is it?
Randy, thanks for joining. Stay safe out there today, man. You're in a heck of a spot.
Matt, this was 14Z.
Okay, I just literally I Google searched NATO cast.
Yeah. So
Okay,
again, this is just the chance of a tornado within 25 miles of a point. And the reason this is so significant is it's maxing out the chart here, for the most part. Um, and I think in this general area where the brown, yellows, reds, pinks, that like Matt was saying, you're certainly looking at a strong tornado risk there to the north and west. So
right. And even with this too, just because you're in Indianapolis, you're in the green. I wouldn't rule out an embedded circulation as this squall line moves southeast. That threat still, in my opinion, still remains even towards Indianapolis. So you're not completely out of the woods, is what I'm trying to say.
yeah, I agree. And that as we continue forward, again, this is 10 Eastern. We'll go into 11 p.m. blasting through Lansing, Kalamazoo, getting into Fort Wayne, Kokomo, Indy, Terre Haute. Starting to die out a little bit the further south you go, and the reason that the further south stuff will die sooner is the parent low is pulling up and away, so the forcing and the connection there will be lost. But this piece here, still by 11 p.m., is still going to be certainly cranking,
Yeah.
and bringing in the potential for 70 plus mile per hour wind. I mean, again, that's all the way from Lansing. There's Fort Wayne, Kokomo, Noblesville, Indy on the doorstep at 11 p.m. Terre Haute. I feel really good about the 11 p.m. hour. Everything's pretty much been consistent with that all day.
Yep.
So,
Yep. Pretty good model agreement for once.
yeah, that's always nice.
Yeah.
I do think as you get into midnight and 1 a.m., we start to see the beginning of the end. I think by time it reaches Dayton to Cincy to Louisville, it's largely much weaker than what it was, say, from Chicago to Indy. You agree,
Wouldn't
Matt?
rule out a few stronger storms still at that
Yeah,
point,
no,
Michael.
for sure.
Primarily wind gusts at that point. I think getting a tornado that far southeast is going to be pretty darn difficult, if you ask me.
Yeah. And you can see where the SPC, generally I don't disagree a whole lot. I think the only thing I would do here with the wind is this 30% area. For me, I probably would take it a little bit further south. But
Yeah.
give or take a couple counties, it's 60% probability of significant wind, moderate risk criteria. So you can see where the target area is with that.
Right.
How do I go back to none? How do I just turn this off? I don't want it on anymore. There we go. Yeah, there we go. I did it.
Yeah.
11 p.m., midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and it's out of here. I tell you what, just real quick behind this, I don't know if anyone's as excited as I am with this, but watch the dew points today in the 70s. Watch these things crash tomorrow. I mean, dew points in the 50s. It's going to feel like a totally different day across the area.
Maybe a good day to go golfing. Huh? What about that, Michael?
That's possible. It's a possibility that you'll find me somewhere on a golf course at some point tomorrow. So, yeah, here's a look at total rainfall, guys, just from this particular run. If this is the idea here, based off the zero Z impasse run, you're going to have isolated amounts locally of over 5 inches, maybe. I mean, regardless, it's a heavy rain. The atmosphere is loaded with moisture.
Loaded.
I think one thing too tonight, Matt, that we're going to see a lot of again is lightning. A lot of lightning.
I think these are going to be some loud storms. You've got this cold front moving into a tropical type of air mass. It's just they're gonna be loud. Lots of lightning for sure.
Yeah, I agree completely. Real quick too, out here across the western, go right through Pittsburgh, right through western Pennsylvania, severe thunderstorm warning for 70-mile-per-hour winds. If you guys watched the stream earlier this morning, we talked about the mid-Atlantic getting strong storms as well. And this is all just associated with the larger cold front that's going to move through and just push all this stuff out of here. A future blended rainfall forecast, is not as aggressive. Normally isn't. But the general takeaway is the heaviest rains can be found in the greens and yellows and reds here of 3/4 of an inch to 3 inches or more locally is a good bet right now.
Yep.
So
messy, a little bit messy.
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah. I don't think it's necessarily a setup to promote flooding. I think it's pretty quick in and out. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think that's going to be the problem. When you get these squall lines, they're in and out fairly quickly, most notably. So the rain's not necessarily training over one location. That threat's going to be a little bit more limited. But where there can be a little bit more training in northern Illinois, that'd be a spot where maybe there's a more of a flooding risk into northern Illinois, eastern Iowa, southern Wisconsin, those type of areas. You can kind of see that as Michael goes through, just kind of messy consecutive storms moving over one location before it just lines out.
Yep. This is the 18Z RRFS, just another model that
pretty similar timing, Michael. I mean, holy smokes.
There's 11 p.m. just looking at HRRR, all the different model runs. They're all very, very close, give or take a county. You've got everything lined out for 11 o'clock impact there with all the data. So,
yep. Good to see model agreement. We love to see it.
We do. Let's take some questions. What do we have? Any questions?
Predictions for St. Louis, Missouri: hail, wind, tornado, or can I relax? Asks Sensa Sean.
Where did he say for where?
St. Louis.
I mean, I think you can relax. I don't think it's the worst thing we've ever seen down there, but I mean, strong storms. Yeah, line of storms tonight.
Should we have cleanup crews on standby in Bloomington tonight?
Cleanup crews. What does that mean? Like,
I'm not sure. I don't know, Michael.
yeah,
Clean up
like,
the debris of branches. I don't know.
yeah. I mean, no, I that sounds dramatic. I don't think you need that. Um, so I'm going to say no to that. Not knowing exactly what it means, I'm going to say no.
Marissa's asking. She's flying into Indy and landing at 11:45. Do you think we will hit this storm?
Yeah, I don't think you're going to make it. I think your flight will be dramatically derailed or altered or canceled. I don't think there's no way.
Yeah, that's not good timing, in my opinion.
No, and you can't fly around this because it's 1,000 miles wide. So
Um,
probably not going to make it in.
Fairway Tales ask Johnson County, more tornadoes? Question mark. 11 p.m. Question mark.
Possibly? Question mark. I think so. Question mark. Yeah, that would be my answer. No, I mean it's not. It's not a tornado risk tonight. It's a straight line wind. You know, heavy rain, vivid lightning, and a tornado is possible. That's not the primary concern for the evening, but more so worried about just a damaging straight line winds right now.
They clarified, yes, debris cleanup. We had a lot of customers call other night for tree branches, etc. So
Gotcha. Yeah, and I mean, could that happen? Yes, but I think by time we're getting to Bloomington, I think it's starting to weaken. Put it to you this way: we've had much higher threats for your area than what this is, in my opinion.
Caledonia, Wisconsin, right next to the lake. Should I worry or should we be okay? I'm not sure where Caledonia is. I don't know if you do, Michael. I can
No,
give it a little Google search.
yeah, no, I don't know where it's at, but if it's in South Central Wisconsin near the lake, I would be worried.
It's just south of Milwaukee, Michael.
Yeah, I would be concerned tonight. I mean, you know that's a nasty look. You're in a prime spot for storms to rotate and be strong. So um, I would be just be on guard from 6 to 8 p.m. Central Time, or yeah, 5 to 7 p.m. Central Time up there probably.
Let's see.
Yeah,
My
he
son is.
does. Amanda says the dog wants to be a part of it. Rudy is losing his mind because he's not in here right now. He's pacing, he's whining. I'm surprised he hasn't opened the door yet.
Give him some time, and he
I'm gonna
might.
let him in. I'll let him in. Everybody wants to see him.
Rudy, Rudy, Rudy. There he is. The man, the myth, the legend. Rudy.
He's got to have his attention. Come on, I'm here. Oh, all right, there he is.
Somebody's asking about Lansing, Michael. Lansing, Michigan. Their son is working there.
Lansing, Michigan. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, certainly, I think on the docket to get hit pretty good. That's 10, 11 p.m. Um, I don't see a reason why you're not going to be at risk at least to get a pretty gnarly gust of wind.
Yeah.
So
I think they get slammed tonight. For
yeah,
sure. A lot of folks, Michael, they're just asking, their location. Fort Wayne. I see
yeah.
Frankfort, Toledo, Ohio.
Yeah, you guys can see right now what I'm dealing with here. Oh, okay. Rudy is here. We'll pull him up. Oh, there he is. He's really wants to be involved. So
Here's a good question, Michael. What does a 15% strong wind threat mean? Is it out of 100% or lower?
So what that means is the way that severe weather forecasting is done, it's done to within 25 miles of a point. Okay, so that is giving you the probability of damaging winds to occur within 25 miles of a point. That's how that works. So, if you're in Indy, all and around that 25-mile radius tonight, what that means is there's a 15% chance of severe wind gusts. Would you agree, Matt?
Yeah. Yep. Bingo on that one.
Yep. And that's how it works. So and I would kind of like to touch on this for just a moment because I don't think that people truly understand how difficult severe weather forecasting can be. I want to pull something up and just illustrate this because some people I don't think know this. This might be if you want to learn something, just pay attention here for a moment. But this is Indianapolis. Obviously, I'm going to zoom in here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a 25-mile radius within a center of a point here. Okay, so in this from Sheridan to Franklin to Greenfield, Avon, all of these cities, there's probably over 1 million people right here in this area. That's the forecast for severe weather to occur anywhere inside this. If it occurs in Noblesville, the forecast was right. If it occurs in Franklin but nowhere else, the forecast was right. Okay, so what people don't understand is if we say any of these cities could get a severe wind gust and one of 30 of them get it, that's a nailed forecast from a standpoint of predicting severe weather variables. It's really very, very difficult. It's actually a miracle that we can even forecast this type of stuff ahead of time, to be honest with you. So most forecasts are generating a forecast for a point with a radius in mind because things can shift and change and move and shake. And so little tidbit there for everybody.
Question of the day here, Michael. What happens when we are about 60 erupting volcanoes on the planet at once? What are your thoughts?
Well, that is the dumbest question that I have actually ever been asked on a live stream to date. And so to be honest with you, I don't know.
Here is a good question. Hail in Johnson County?
Can you give me a good one? What'd you say?
Hail in Johnson County? I suspect probably at that point, Michael, probably not.
No, again, lightning and wind. I think you're going to see a heck of a light show tonight and probably some power outages from the lightning is possible.
Sure. Yeah.
But no, I don't think hail is really a factor here. In fact, I don't even think the SPC has hail in the risk down here. They have a 5% chance. So that's actually up from the last time I looked at it because earlier today they didn't have any.
The environment, Michael, doesn't really scream big time hail, especially central Indiana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed. Agreed. Let's get just a check real quick here and see if anything. Take a couple more questions, guys. What we'll probably do, just FYI, in terms of bouncing back on a live later, I would say generally we'll target in or around the 8 p.m. time frame.
Yeah.
And that's where we'll come back pending. And when we do come back, we'll probably be covering central and north central Illinois' threat as it progresses into Indiana. So if you tune in, that's where we'll be kind of covering from. And then as it gets closer into our primary, show you guys a little map that might be fascinating for some of you. These are our users. These are clients. So you can see how heavily populated we are in Indiana. You can't even see through some of the areas. There's so many people in Indiana that are users. Pretty neat, right?
Michael, it's just us two. They're just looking at us
too.
too.
See it. It's the volcano question.
Yep, it really screwed you up.
It threw me off. I can't function at those types of levels. Here's the locations. These are people that are clients of BAM Weather. Pretty cool, yeah. And you can just see them all across Canada and across the Midwest, Southeast, and so. Anyways, that's how where our primary people are tuning in from. What am I missing, Matt? Have I missed anything?
I'm looking for some questions, trying to find some more interesting ones. Maybe not a volcano question. Now everybody's talking about volcanoes. That's my fault, Michael. Let's see.
What's going on out there?
Oh, Paul's just telling people to good luck, kick ass tonight, etc.
Ah, oh, that's good. Good for Paul.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we love Paul.
Yep. Okay. So, anyways, I think it's safe to say we're at 36 minutes, Matt. Let's
Yeah,
wrap it up, and we'll target again around the 8 p.m. hour tonight, give or take 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how things evolve. I can tell you right now, this thing in Missouri it's getting its act together pretty quickly.
it is.
So I don't think it's not a matter of if, but when we'll be back to cover this stuff and keep everybody posted. So get the BAM weather application, scan the QR code, or check out the sign up link in the comments for location specific alerts, nowcasts, forecast insights, videos from our meteorologists. We have like 10 meteorologists on shift right now that are out there working in the office. So people are there to help and answer questions and keep people updated way more frequently and detailed in the platform here than versus our videos. One other thing, Matt, that I'll just tease real quick. I like to tease things
Okay.
if I can. Is we have new features coming. And one of those is an hourly forecast that goes out 72 hours. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm excited to get hourly variables from a blend of dozens and dozens of weather models out to 60 hours. And we're also going to be adding the UV index into that hourly as well. That'll be in the app and in the hourly tomorrow by end of business, I believe. I believe that's the plan. So
Yep, it's exciting.
that'll be fun to do. So with that said, I think that's it. Thank you guys for tuning in. And you'll definitely see Matt closer to 8. You'll see me at or just shortly after that as well. And we'll be back this evening to help you all out.
All right. See you guys. See you soon.